One of my passions in life is woodworking. I think probably because it fulfills that caveman instinct that I have, and a lot of men have, to provide for their families. Oftentimes, projects that I take on in the workshop fulfill a need that we have in the house. But there's something else that has quickly become a passion of mine. Gardening, and probably for a lot of the same reasons as woodworking. It feels good to be able to put a dinner on the table where most of your ingredients came from here, the backyard. But like for many people, our space for growing food is limited. So recently I've tried to look for ways to get more out of the space that we do have. And I figure a vertical herb garden would be a good way to do that. When you think of materials for any outdoor project, probably the first thing that comes to mind is cedar. And why not? Its rot-resistant properties are well known. With that said, I've chosen some scrap pine left over from previous projects. I'll cut 4 pieces with a 15-degree angle for the legs to start. Yes, untreated wood will decompose over time, even cedar. However, wooden planters built out of untreated wood will probably last a lot longer than you think. I'll mark out every 9.5 inches or so on both sides of all 4 legs. I'll need 20 cleats, about 5 inches each. I offset the marks on each side of the legs by about 1.5 inches to give me the angles that I need for the shelves. I'm not using any glue in the planter portion of this project. Over the years, as different parts wear out, I want to be able to easily replace pieces of the planter. Now that the legs are done, I need some back slats. For my dimensions, I'll need about 14 board feet. I already have one of the planter boxes done, so for the second one, I'll place the sides on top of each other to make sure the widths match after I'm done putting the back slats on. Tack them with brads just to hold them in place. Check for square. Tack the other side. Drill pilot holes. Screw them in place. I'm going to flip each box on their sides and place a board across the bottom to mimic the ground so I can get the angle right. Cut some leg braces on the miter saw. Now, I thought it would be nice, depending on the type of plants that we have at the time, if we could easily move the vertical garden around our back patio. So I'll build a frame out of this extra 2x6. After cutting a couple pieces to length, I'll rip them in half. Cut some half-lap joints on the bandsaw. On a project like this, I don't really feel like I need to measure these joints. I'll just eyeball it. As I said, I'm not using any glue on the planter portion of this build. I'll use it here because if the base needs replacing, I'll just replace the whole thing. I've moved everything to the back patio so I can attach the bottom frame and the casters. These are 3-inch locking casters. The little guy was so eager to help his dad, I had to give him the job. Obviously, cedar or some other resistant type of wood would prolong the life of a project like this. I figure the cost of cedar in my area would run a project like this right around $300. This, however, was free for me, as all the materials came from the pile of wood that I have sitting in the back of my garage. And any replacement parts I may need, well, those will be free as well. It's hard to argue with free. Oh, I did have to buy the casters. Those were $3 each. So I guess I spent about $12 on the project. If you'd like more information about this or other DIY projects, you can visit my website, simplyeasydiy.com. You can find me on Facebook and Pinterest as well. Until then.